Hello everyone, I am Denise Palisok from the Office of Gender Concerns, and I will be discussing course review in UP Open University towards inclusivity and gender equality, an exploratory study. What is this course review about? This project is part of the UP Open University's efforts to achieve a gender-sensitive environment. The university ensures the use of GFL or gender-fair language for women, men, and those who do not conform to the binary gender systems to be treated as persons of equal importance and dignity. This project is one of the turnover initiatives for this year's GPB and was headed by the office director, Dr. Fina Flor Thailand. But why do we need this? What are the objectives of this study? How will this be conducted, and what is the end goal of the study? This project is a key initiative specified in the GPB 2021. It aimed to evaluate selected UP Open University courses through their course materials for gender responsiveness, reflecting UPOU's commitment to fostering an inclusive and gender responsive educational institution. But how are we going to do it? In the next slide, I will be discussing the conceptual framework. For a more visual representation, here you can see the conceptual framework. For the input section, we looked into the structure, components, and design of the UPOU courses. We also looked into the policies and guidelines related to gender responsiveness and inclusivity at UPOU. For the processes, we looked into the gender responsiveness of the courses in which it was assessed, using the guide for course review. For the target output, we identified the strengths and weaknesses of the selected courses to assess the impact of the review on the teaching and learning processes. And for the outcomes, there will be adjustments made in the course structure, components, and design, conduct of training programs for faculty about gender-sensitive teaching methods, improve educational experience for students of all genders, and strengthen institutional commitment to gender equality and inclusivity. The framework highlights how UPOU's educational approach has the potential to change increased gender responsiveness. So in the next slides, I will discuss the methodology to give you a glimpse of the overall process that our study about course review will undergo. Here you can see the research design we used was a mixed methods approach. In the quantitative method, we used the guide for course review on gender responsiveness to review the chosen courses. Each course was assessed using the categories in the guide. The qualitative method part of the study was the part where additional comments and recommendations of the gender experts were provided. And for the sampling, there were 24 courses randomly selected, there were 13 commissioned gender experts, and they used the course review guide developed by Dr. Fina Flor Thailand. For the process of data gathering, we used two phases. First is the pilot run phase, in which the creation of an evaluation framework, and second is the review of courses. The gender experts used the evaluation framework, which is the guide for the course review, to evaluate the course materials according to the following categories: design, content and materials, learning activities, delivery, and assessment. And as said earlier, there were also additional comments provided for a thorough evaluation of the gender responsiveness of the course materials. As for the data analysis, our plan is that the reviews will be compiled and summarized to provide a comprehensive overview of the findings. This process will involve gathering both the quantitative and qualitative comments from the guide for course review. The quantitative data will use descriptive statistics, while the qualitative data consists of the comments of the gender experts. We will use thematic analysis. There will be themes and patterns to be used to combine with the quantitative data analysis to see the similarities and differences, and we will be able to come up with necessary answers to the research questions leading to the conclusion. And for the next slide, here is the goal of our study. Our goal is to create a gender module in the faculty orientation site, which will consist of the following. Of course, the guide for course review, so that the faculty will have the option to do a self-assessment when it comes to their course materials without the need for gender experts. And of course, orientation videos on which will be about gender sensitivity, gender policies, and integration of gender in teaching and learning in UPOU. Thank you for listening. That's all.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. Yeah, so we're co-writing that. That's actually, as mentioned, is one of our special, not really so special, but it's one of our major projects at the Office of Gender Concerns in UP Open University to ensure that our courses, including the course materials, course delivery, and even assessment methods are gender responsive towards inclusivity and diversity, and of course, gender equality, since especially that we're more than aiming for gender equality only, but on the aligned with the GEDC framework, including the other elements, no, inclusivity. Um, we actually have initial findings already. We just don't want to preempt the discussion of the results, but to tell you honestly, it's in the middle range of the toolkit. We already have in place, in fairness, with all the things that we have been doing, we already institutionalize a lot of things as we try to gather and finalize the research. As mentioned in the final slide of Denise a while ago, we already have institutionalized the gender orientation, gender sensitivity and responsiveness checklist, which became already a self-assessment toolkit for all faculty in charge. That's how we call our faculty in all their courses. It's not yet a requirement for all the faculty, but in one of our faculty of studies, Faculty of Management and Development Studies, the Dean Joan Serrano, is already institutionalized that among us, no? And we are part of that Faculty of Studies. But on the for the other Faculty of Studies, we haven't institutionalized that. But these checklists is already there in the faculty dashboard for all faculty in charge, based on their own, it depends on their, well, academic freedom, But another thing, we always conduct gender sensitivity orientation, not just face-to-face, but as an online university. We have institutionalized various levels of gender sensitivity orientation. So we have for faculty, we have for students, and I'm not sure if you know this, we have for free gender sensitivity training as a form of massive open online course for the public. That's one of our major projects, and it's free of charge as it is a MOOC. And since it is a major project, we have it's already 2 years in its running. We already have for our first year. That's one of the major enrollment of learners turnout. We have 18,000 learners. 30% of that have completed the course. For this year, hindi nalalayo doon, no? 17,000 something. Wow, something. I'm happy to share with those things with you because when the media pick it up, this is my final anecdote already. When the media pick up, especially in the social media, about our massive open online courses for free last year and this year, maganda yung, well, at a certain degree, maganda yung acceptance, no, social acceptance. Mahilig kasi akong pasakitin yung ulo ko. I look into the comments in the pages where that has been shared. Yun, I'm telling you, if you don't want head and heartaches, don't read comments in public. So what do this what did we receive, no, as comments? Okay na sana, pero bakit may gender sensitivity? Anong gagawin namin diyan? Di ba? Saya-saya, parang ang sarap nilang i-email lahat. Pinatulan, patol. Pero whenever after each 4-week course, after completing it, and having 18,000 learners every offering, sabi ko, okay, so we really need this. And matindi yung social acceptance. So we have this internal and external gender sensitivity efforts talaga, ensuring na yun nga, the university is there providing these initiatives and really trying our best no, to really fulfill our mandate for public service initiative. And because the Times uh, um, paper has been raised already, that ends my presentation. Maraming salamat po. Well, Malu is coming up here. She's the AU Secretary General who is also co-organizing this panel. Thank you so much.